Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I'll start off with this week's tip. Whenever you're out and about at different stores or at restaurants, if it's slow, don't be afraid to ask the cashier if they've seen any older currency lately. I did that, and I was lucky enough to pull this right here from the cashier. It was a $10 bill from 1985. It's in decent shape. I mean, it's circulated, but a $10 bill from 85, small head currency, this is probably worth in the neighborhood of $15 or so. And it's just because I asked. So don't be afraid to ask, but also don't do it in busy times. You don't want to interrupt everybody like that. All right, so I've got my 1,000 in singles. I've already gone through them. We'll slide those out of the way and see what I came up with this week. Big stack, big pulls. All right. First were a couple of Where's George bills. That's a unique symbol there. I haven't seen that one before, so I'll look that one up. I'll check all of my Where's George bills. Here was another one here. This one was quads as well as a Where's George. Another Where's George. This one, Mount Vernon, Ohio, was its original point. So I know this one's traveled a little ways. And another Where's George. This one I've seen this particular design, so it's probably one of the local people. I've got a number of trinaries. This one's 3s, 5s, and 8s. Somebody wrote on it, so I'll send that back in circulation. This one's 0s, 5s, and 2s. 0s, 2s, and 9s on this trinary. Pretty rough shape, probably going back. This one is 5s, 8s, and 9s. 0s, 1s, and 9s on this trinary. 1s, 6s, and 8s on this one. Then we get to the stars. I got quite a few star notes. This one is quite crisp. Another crisp from 2013. Hard crease here. Hope this one isn't worth too much. I think the K high numbers are a little on the valuable side, so we'll see what happens there. Crisp H. Crisp B note. Another. This F series is a little weak, 2009, but we'll see what happens. Found quads, lots of quads. Quad 0s on this note. Quad 4s as I drop everything. Quad 5s with writing on it, so that'll go away. Quad 5s without writing, so I can keep that one. Quad 6s. Quad 7s. Quad 8s. And this one has... it's a trinary, 1s, 5s, and 4s, but it's got 5 4s in a row, so that's a nice little block. Did find a birthday note. This one's a two-way. This one's March 8th, 2019, or this is August 3rd, 2019. So that's neat that it's coming up. This is a birthday note, 2007. This would be September 4th, 2007, or April 9th, 2007. Found some older bills. This is 1995. A couple 95s. 95 with writing, and it's really limp. Probably not a keeper. 95B, also pretty ratty. This 95 is a little better. This is a 1993. 88A, always checking to see if those are web notes. 88A, fairly good shape. And then I found this one here. This was the oldest bill I've found in a while. This is 1981. Check out the serial number, 888. 3 8s, 2 3s, some more 8s in there. What's interesting about this is the back of this note. This note looks like it was washed, but if it was washed, the front would be darker, or it wouldn't be as dark as far as the ink goes. But look at the ink on the back of this one. This is just really unusual. In comparison, here's the ink on the note prior to that. Huge difference in the ink. I can't explain it. I don't know if it was under-inked from the start, but that's just a really unusual note compared front to back here. So yeah, I saw that. I was going to pull it because it was an 81 anyway, but to see the vast difference in colors like that is pretty extreme. All right, so that's what I found. And when I went digging in my safety deposit box, this is what I pulled out this week. This is a 1907 $5 legal tender note. $5 legal tender. It's got Andrew Jackson on it right there. Series of 1907. $5. You can see by the red that this would be a legal tender, which means it was backed by something. The legal tender notes all have the red seal. You can spot those right away. Now let me zoom in a little bit closer here. This guy in the middle, you can see he's holding an axe. He's got his shotgun there, his wife, his child, his dog. He is known as the wood chopper. This is called a wood chopper note. These first came out in 1878, I believe it was. And the only changes were basically the signatures down here. And in this note here, they finally added the red V with the word dollars. You could make out right there. Before that, it just simply had this red seal there. So yeah, the two names would have changed, and this was the addition. Take a look at the back of this note. It does have a little bit of a crease right here in the middle, a little bit of a dirty crease right here. But overall, it's in really good shape. Let me just zoom in so you can take a closer look at some of the art on here. Right there is where it says series of 1907. And this note is a legal tender at its face value. Now, one of the things about the wood chopper notes that make them all famous is there was a number of them that had what was called the public error in the word public right here. This one is not the error. This is the correct one. But the U in public, you can see how thin that is right there. On the die, it cracked. And because of the crack, there was a gap in this little line right here, which made this look like a C. So it would look like it said PCB instead of PUB. And that would be the public error. This is not. This is the correct one. This is before the die broke. So there's probably a little more value in the error. Everybody's always into collecting errors. But when I saw this note and I saw how bright the front was, I had to have it. Of course, this is one of the large size notes because it is prior to 1928. Once again, the size comparison. So there you have it. A 1907 $5 legal tender known as the wood chopper. Alright guys, if you learned anything new in this video, hit that like button. If you like seeing everything that I put out there, go ahead and subscribe. And if you want to keep seeing more of these, tell your friends and we'll get that subscriber number up a little bit higher. Thanks everyone for watching, and I'll see you next week.